Have you ever driven by a golf course and said, wow, I'd love for my lawn to look that green and that lush? Well, Stan Stagg of Staggwood Greens has actually installed a beautiful chip and putt course right in his own backyard. And if you're willing to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into it, then you too might be able to get your lawn looking as beautiful as this one or any of his customers.
It's obvious I have a passion for this industry, the turfgrass industry. As a result, these putting greens in my own backyard, I've reached a level of success with these due to 5 key elements that I'm going to cover today, and they are soil conditioning, mowing, watering, nutrients, and most importantly, patience. It's obvious I haven't reached this level by myself. I've relied greatly on other industry professionals to reach this goal of mine. Homeowners, you need to do the same thing. You need to work hard with the landscapers on your lawn to achieve those results. Let's take a look at the 5 elements that'll help you get there. First element of our 5 elements today is soil conditioning, and I gain control of the root zone by incorporating sand. It's a high quality top dressing greens grade sand. Helps smooth out the surface and it won't harm the reels. We can do this with, on small areas we can do it by hand, but larger areas they make top dressers, machines that can put it out in a nice fine pattern. So, but the small jobs, the hand work, it's just as easy to go ahead and get it right by hand. So you can do this with a small residential front yard. Well, this is actually conditioning the soil at the root zone because I've aerified it in, so all the cavities, once I can hand water this with a gentle shower by hand or turn my irrigation system on, but all this sand will disappear here very shortly, right into the root zone, which is conditioning the soil. We're getting the soil consistent so that when I do all my watering and all my nutrient applications, everything is applied to the root zone uniformly. All right, we'll let that dry. This is a little bit larger area, larger depression to fill. I'm just bulking it up with the compost, and I'll break all the clumps up and rake off all the large particles, but all the small particles will work themselves right into the soil. Conditioning the soil, I just pulled cores from beneath the compost, the existing soil I'll call it, and I'm replacing the cavities with the compost just by simply raking over it and grading. And then once you hand water, it'll go into the holes, and that's pretty much conditioning the soil. When you use both sand and compost together, it does even a better job. So as this dries, you see what's going to happen here. It just starts disappearing. It'll smooth out bumps, pits, blemishes I call them. And sometimes cable companies will go in and make a trench. Well, this is one way of fixing it. Mowing, our second element, one of the most critical issues of mowing obviously is keeping a sharp mower blade. I recommend keeping a spare blade or 2 spare blades. If you nick a blade, obviously take it off and hand file the nick. These need to be professionally ground and balanced before you put them back on, so I don't recommend them really doing it yourself. Mowing with a dull blade obviously causes turf injury, stresses the lawn. Weeds will compete with a suffering lawn. I want to show you the proper way to clean a mower. Fuel tank's right here, carburetor's right here. We don't want to tilt it so we have any leakage, so we're going to lift it straight up on its side. We're going to take a hose, we're going to rinse after every use now. The clippings are going to be nice and loose. Just rinse it off, get all the debris out of there. You're going to increase your engine life. Watering is our third element, and proper irrigation is the key. Heavy, deep soakings on your lawn infrequently give you the best results. And obviously with deflections here, we have to move this sprinkler head in order to accommodate the turf area. Landscapes mature, plants get bigger, or new plants are installed, and that has to be a change right now in order to effectively water that lawn. We've covered soil conditioning, mowing, watering. Now we're going to cover our fourth element, turf nutrients. Barry with Lesko is going to cover pulling soil samples for me, checking my soil pH, and making sure I'm on track. Barry, how's my soil looking today?
Stan, looks great.
Good.
You got some good root penetration, and your soil and sand mix looks very well. It's going to take a couple weeks for us to get the results back on that, but once I get them back, I'll give you a call. We'll go over the results, and we'll see what these greens need.
Sounds great. Thank you, Barry.
You're welcome.
Anyway, this is what we're talking about. We have to communicate as professionals to each other, with each other, homeowners as well, with the people you hire, mowing contractors, irrigation companies, people doing nutrients like myself. It's so important to talk with each of those individuals and get the maximum results out of what every one of them is doing for you.
It takes a lot of different elements to keep a lawn green. It's not simply cutting the grass and providing water. It's the right nutrients. It's a lot of things coming together. And it's important to have someone with some real expertise to provide advice on all of those elements. And Stan certainly is that person, and we communicate at least once a week. Many times he'll come out here and visit, and we'll talk together here or by telephone. And just as by way of example, this past week he noticed that some areas of the lawn were getting too much water, and he needed to have the positions of some of the heads changed. So he was in contact with General Rain Irrigation, and within a couple of days they were out here and changed the position of some of the heads.
Today we've covered 4 of the 5 elements so far: soil conditioning, mowing, watering, and nutrients. And the 5th and final element is patience. We all have to understand that patience is what it takes to get the job done. Contractors, you have to give them chances to get the job done right for you, and that's patience on your part. Contractors amongst themselves have to be patient with each other, because we all work together and try to achieve the same goal.
Stan got me on a program of watering, core aerating, and fertilizing to build the soil up and build up the drought resistance in the grass. And that's what we did about 4 years ago. We started. And each year he and I sit down and decide what we're going to do for the year, what kind of grass I want during the winter time in terms of ryegrass, and what I expect out of the lawn, and he helps me meet that goal. We jokingly refer to Stan as the grass's personal trainer, and that's the way he operates. He gives you advice on what to do, and it's really up to you to follow it. But he's helpful every step of the way.
Another added benefit to the 5 elements we've discussed is reduced pesticide use. And here's the 2 best reasons why. Work closely with the people working on your lawn, get involved with them, help them out, communicate with everyone involved, and you can get the same result. Maybe not like the greens here, but your lawn will be much better off. Let's putt a couple, Ryan. Come on. In the hole.